Hi, motivated people. It's Karen, the motivator. I'm a woman of a certain age here to serve people of all ages. My channel is here to inspire you to age gracefully. I'm 52 years old, and on my previous video, I talked about my skin journey that I'm taking. I talked about cooking. We need to be healthy. I also talked about styling. That's something that I'm going to do. And also talked about just self-care and just checking in with ourselves. So today I'm going to follow up on the sunscreen conversation that I started with my girlfriends. So stay tuned because I'm going to get into that, the research that I found, the products, and also a little bit of controversy. Okay, stay tuned and we're going to get into that. So in my initial video, I talked about sunscreen and how I sent a survey to some of my girlfriends, and the question was, do you wear sunscreen? And the answer was basically no. Only one person said that they wore sunscreen. And as I stated earlier in my first video, that bothered me. And it bothered me because I did not start wearing sunscreen until I was 50 or close to 50 years old. And it's because I did not have any education about sunscreen. But let me just go to the backstory and also being African American. And being 52 years old, when I was raised, sunscreen was not something that was even purchased. That was nothing that was purchased and brought in the home. When I was growing up, you put on lotion, and that was caring for your skin. You took a bath and you put on lotion. So you moisturize your skin. Sunscreen was never brought up unless you were going to the beach. And even then, we didn't wear it. What was said was, you're black, so your black skin, you covered. You won't get cancer. You'll be okay. Because I think the attitude was, we won't get sunburned. So everyone was okay with that. We never did get sunburned, or maybe we did, we just couldn't see it. So that was the notion for sunscreen. So it was never included in any type of skincare. And growing up, if you never adopted that in your routine, it's nothing that we ever considered. It was nothing that I ever looked into until I started watching YouTube videos. And I realized that sunscreen is very important, particularly since I'm on this mission to maintain my aging process, as far as I want to age gracefully. And to me, aging gracefully is more about your attitude and just being motivated to live. But at the same time, I want to take care of my skin as well. So I've done some research. I found out information about sunscreen, but I've also found out something that's very controversial as well, and we're going to talk about that. But let's just start out what I found out. Again, I'm just going to give you the basic. I will link a person that can give you, well, a couple of people who've done great videos that has given me tips about sunscreen, and I'm just going to give you the basics. When I did my research, I wanted to know, what should I look for to purchase? I wasn't looking for the science. I wasn't looking for all the breakdown of all the active ingredients. I wanted to know, for a woman of color, what choice should I make with selecting the sunscreen? And also I wanted to know about these prices, because I wasn't trying to pay a lot of money, because as you know, you have to wear sunscreen every day, according to the reports on sunscreen. And where my home has a lot of windows, so I get a lot of sunlight. So according to my research, even if you're in your home and you're getting sunlight, and if you're not outside, excuse me, you still need to wear sunscreen. So that means I need to have sunscreen on a lot. which means that I'll be using it every day. So I don't want to spend a lot of money on sunscreen, but I do want to get something that works well with my skin and helps my skin to improve. I don't want to do anything that's going to damage or hurt my skin, because that's the main reason why I'm wearing sunscreen, to protect my skin. So what I found out is there's two types of sunscreen. There's the physical sunscreen and there's the chemical sunscreen. Now the physical sunscreen, that's sunscreen, I think it has some zinc. Let me put my glasses on. I wrote it down. Yes. Zinc dioxide in that, and titanium dioxide. No, it's zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. So when I began looking for my sunscreen, what was the physical one that had those two ingredients in it, the problem for women of color or people of color is that it leaves a white cast. So that's why there was these more of a negative connotation with mineral sunscreens. That's not to say you shouldn't buy it. There's nothing wrong with it. It won't do anything to your skin. It's more about a cosmetic look. So I did purchase a mineral sunscreen. I think this one is mineral. I'm sure it is. And I also purchased a chemical sunscreen, because I think I'm going to stick with the chemical sunscreen, because what I found, the ones that I found that I purchased, it was cheaper. And one of them is not as cheap, but I came to the choice of this chemical sunscreen because the other benefits that it offers. So if you decide, if you do your research and you decide that, hey, I want to include sunscreen in my regimen, this is how I came to the conclusion. I work out a lot, so and I live in New Orleans, so we do get out a lot of sunlight, and I'm in the sun a lot. So I chose a sunscreen that's cheaper, that's when I'm doing my active routines, that I can be out in the sun, that it'll work as well, and I can cover most of my body, and I'll be out in the environment for 2 hours or so. So I picked a sunscreen that could address that part of my lifestyle. Then I picked a sunscreen that I wanted to include not just sunscreen, but a moisturizer as well. As a matter of fact, I already had this product, and when I read it, I was like, okay, this is a sunscreen, and I was already using it. So if you're making your choice, if you decide I don't want to spend a lot of money on sunscreen, there are options for you to choose that aren't as expensive. And if you want to just use it for your daily life and just have the sunscreen covering. But if you want to pick a product that's a moisturizer and that have other active ingredients, they have those as well, but they are expensive. So I'm going to show you the sunscreens that one I've already had, one I had and didn't even know it was a sunscreen, one I went and purchased, and this other sunscreen, I was introduced to this by someone on YouTube. It's a tinted sunscreen, and I don't like wearing makeup, and I've said that in my initial video as well. I wanted to get tinted sunscreen because I was hoping that I can just put a sunscreen on that was tinted, that could act as a foundation and just give me a smoother look. So I'm going to get those sunscreens and I'm going to apply them to my face so you can see how they come on, how they react to my skin, and see if this is something that you would want to choose as for how it absorbs or how it goes on to. So I'm back. I have my products, but before we go over these products, I want to share with you the controversy that I found on sunscreen, because I don't want you all to watch this video and not hear this part of the sunscreen controversy. I looked up this article and it says, what causes vitamin D deficiency? Lack of the right timing and or exposure to the sun that is just not strong enough are big factors in vitamin D deficiency. but some researchers feel that using sunscreen is also partly to blame. Although daily sunscreen application does keep skin from making vitamin D in the presence of sunlight, sunscreen use alone does not explain why so many people are vitamin D deficient. So according to this passage, it's stating that maybe if you're vitamin D deficient, it's because of sunscreen. I don't know. You have to look that up and do some research on that and speak to your physician about that. I'm going to continue with the article. We know that most people don't apply as much sunscreen as they should. In fact, many don't apply it at all, only when they are at the beach. I remember that. Even in countries where almost no one wears sunscreen and where the sun is intensely strong year-round, there are people who have deficient levels of vitamin D, making sunscreen barely a dip on the blame of the radar. So they're basically debunking the story in a sense. This is the part that I paid attention to. It say, age is a factor as our skin has a harder time making vitamin D as the years go by. And of course, this channel is about age, and that's the purpose that I paid attention to sunscreen. So I'm going to take this article to heart and do more research into sunscreen and to vitamin D deficiency. And just to let you know, I keep up with my numbers because I just had a physical, and that's one thing that I asked my doctor. Let me look at my numbers. Let me see where I'm at. And at one time I was vitamin D deficiency, but I actually take vitamin D supplements, so I'm good. But I just want to get that on your radar because, you know, you want to hear the pros and the cons, because everyone is saying sunscreen, sunscreen, but we have to be careful as well, because if a company telling you to get sunscreen, of course they're going to tell you that because they're distributing it. So just do your research for yourself and make sure that you're not vitamin D deficiency. And if you are, make sure it's not linked to anything with sunscreen. I don't see where any linkage. For me, I'm going to wear sunscreen. So you have to make the decision for yourself. And again, just do the research. That's what I'm doing. Talking to the doctors, reading articles, and finding what I can find out. Because we all know in this life, you always hear two sides of the story. It's up to us to make decisions about our lives and about our own health care. So with that said, let's get into these products and just let you know what I've chosen, well, tried, and that it doesn't mean that I will stick with all of these. I'm going to show you the one that I've used this for a while. This is the Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Dry Touch Sunscreen. At one time, this was the only thing that I ever had, and I was using this for my active wear. I used this, I thought I was doing something, because at one time I only used that little spray bottle, that spray can, and was spraying it on my arms and my legs, particularly during the summer. But I knew I would never put that in my face, so I had to find something to put on my face. And so I said, well, let me get this, and I bought it. It was $5.99 from TJ Maxx. So I said, this is a good deal. When I bought it, it went on very light, and I'll show you. I'm going to put this one on my hand. You know, it's thick, and there's no smell to it or anything, and it pretty much absorbed in my skin, on my face as well. I didn't have a problem with it as far as that white cast that I found out about from the mineral, and this isn't a mineral, but there's no white cast with this, and it just went on smooth. It is a chemical one, and just look how clear it is. The problem with this for me, when I put this on, no irritation, anything like that, but my eyes, so maybe there was irritation. My eyes would just bother me after a couple of hours of having that on. Now also, when I work out, I sweat, so, but it wasn't dripping sweat. So this, I said, I have to find something else. So Paula's Choice, I had this, but I didn't have it before this. But when I started using, purchased this because it's a moisturizer, and it's a very good moisturizer. And I use this when I go to work after I do my skincare routine. This is my moisturizer that I put on. And okay, this Broadband Spectrum SP50. This works so well, and it's just good on my skin as far as moisturizer. I wasn't even thinking about the sunscreen part of it, and honestly I can't tell if it's protecting me from the sun. Who knows? But as far as the moisturizer, and since I know that there's sunscreen, at least I can say that I am wearing the sunscreen, and the moisturizer is amazing. So I really like this product, and I think this is $32, but I don't mind spending this. Sorry guys, my memory card filled up. But yeah, as I was saying with the Paula's Choice, I don't mind spending the $33 for this because you're getting a lot. And let me just show you how it goes on. I'm gonna put it on one side of my cheek. So it's very soft and it's very smooth, and it makes my skin soft and smooth. I can tell you, when I feel my skin throughout the day, and one of my biggest issue with my skin is you can see my pores. But this, I really love how it applies on my skin. So this is a good one if you want a moisturizer and a sunscreen, if you're willing to pay this price point. The other one, I just purchased this. I think I purchased it yesterday. I never tried it, so we'll be experimenting with this together. This is, let's see, the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel Lotion Sunscreen. Sabor Spectrum SPF 50. A YouTuber, and I'm gonna link her YouTube beneath. She recommended this as an affordable sunscreen, and it was, I think it was $14. Yeah, it was $14. Here's the consistency of it. Let's see if you can see that. It has like a bluish hue to it. It has a little scent to it. I'm just going to put it on this side and underneath. So with something like this, I actually purchased this so when I'm doing my outdoors active routines, when I'm working out outdoors, I plan on using it. It feels good, so we'll see. I usually work out in the park on the weekends. That's outdoors since it's cold, and a lot of things I do in my house now that it's cold, but I'll go to the park on the weekends no matter the weather, unless it's freezing cold. So I'll be able to let you all know how this is on my next video. So it feels good on, it feels light, I can tell you that. It doesn't feel greasy. Based on what I can see, yeah, it doesn't look greasy as well. So that's the Neutrogena. I like it. I don't mind spending $14 on this, and it's a nice size. I should get a lot of wear out of this. That's another thing that I felt good about purchasing this, because of the size of it. Because of course this will be one that I'll be using a lot. If let's say if I don't want to use this, which I'm going to use this, but this is so small. But I will have to use more of this anyway, being outside. So I'm glad that this is the size that it is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take what I've put on off, and I'm going to put this on. I think it's Ilia. This costs a pretty penny. This is the tinted mineral. I think this is a mineral sunscreen. And I was so excited about buying this because I really want, my plan with purchasing this was to get it and basically wear a natural face. If I wanted to just to do a natural face, possibly put on eyeliner and lipstick to see if it could serve as a foundation, because I really don't care to wear makeup, but I'm at that age where you need to do something. And even though I have makeup, I don't even know how to apply it the way I need to. So I'm gonna try this on for you. I tried it, and I'll just let you all see if you all see a difference. So I'm gonna wipe this off, and I'm gonna apply this, and you all tell me if you all can be the judge if you see anything. One moment. So I moved into my bathroom because the lighting is better, and I really want to see, will this Aaliyah, this is the mineral sunscreen, the tinted mineral sunscreen. I want to see, will it cover just these two spots? I have two spots here, and I really want to see if it will cover it enough so that it'll appear as if I'm wearing makeup. So you have to shake this very well before you get started. So I shook it up. And here's the color. The color, can you see it? I didn't believe it would work just looking at the color. So I'm going to put it on these spots and just see. Now this is the mineral sunscreen, which mineral sunscreens typically give you a white cast, and as you can see, this one isn't doing that because this is tinted. But I'm almost sure this is a mineral sunscreen, because in the ingredients, I think I saw that zinc oxide. And that zinc oxide is an indication that it's a mineral sunscreen, which is a physical sunscreen and not a chemical one. And those are the sunscreens that gives you that white cast, allegedly. So I can see the tint very slightly. It has more of an orange tint to it. But the thing about it that I wouldn't purchase this again is because I can see these two spots. I don't know if you all can see it. And I was hoping that wearing this would kind of give more of a coverage to my face, and it's not doing that. And for, I think I paid $53 or $54 for this product, and for $54 I can't see repurchasing this. So that's my review of the 4 sunscreens that I chose based on the information that I researched on YouTube, and also I'm taking into account what that article says as well, but I'm still gonna wear the sunscreen. So if you decide to get the sunscreen, you know, just check in the stores and see which one works for you. Hi guys, I hope you all enjoyed my skincare journey video, and I know I gave you some pros and cons with sunscreen. What I'm starting to notice since I've started my channel, yes, I'm new to YouTube. It's interesting seeing the pros and cons of things. And you know, when you're on YouTube, many people, we're not experts in the field, so you know, you try to do your research, and that's what I try to do, research to give people both sides of whatever topic or issue you're discussing. So, and with this segment, that's what I ran into. So, you know, I hope you guys take the information and do your own research, and you know, just really, before you just say no to sunscreen, look into it, because it's something that's important for you if you really want to take care of your skin. And of course, my channel is tailored to, it focuses mostly on women of a certain age, but sunscreen is for people of all ages. And as I stated before, I'm here to motivate people of all ages. So it doesn't matter what age you are, you know. If you want to, you know, to take care of your skin, you need sunscreen. And if you want to turn 50 and look halfway decent, you know, that's something you want to consider, is including sunscreen into your regimen. So I'm not going to relitigate this whole thing. You've already seen the video. So, of course, the choice is up to you. I just felt like, well, didn't feel like it. The video ended abruptly, and I wanted to make sure I ended the video with some clarity. So, again, thanks for watching, and good luck with your search for a skincare, a sunscreen, if you decide to purchase one. All right, guys. Bye.